All right, what's up, everybody? We are back with the next installment of Aged Out Reacts. Today, as you can see from the screen in front of you, is going to be with guest Cameron Halls, who we just did a podcast episode with, and I'm Mike Fantini as normal, and Evan Worrell is here as well. You both there? Can you both hear me?
I can.
I'm here.
All right, sweet. So we're going to show you where everybody starts at the beginning, and then we'll go quickly to... We're going to react to one of Cameron's first audition videos he put out there for East Side Fury back in what year?
This was 2013.
It says it in the title, Mike.
Oh,
I think I was 15.
All right,
this. Been drumming for like a year and a half.
Ooh, fresh.
All right, so we'll start here, and then we're going to go into the groups where he ended up and react to some of those. So here we go.
It sticks in.
Clean.
Sticks in is gone now. Whenever it does sticks down.
Got a slice going on there. I like it. Stroking it out.
A little break in the rhythm. Triplet check there. Dude, I like how this metronome's like blinking.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Got that
Oh,
light
cool.
down there.
I can hear it okay on my end. It's a little laggy, but I have to say it does sound better than it looks.
Oh, listen to those
Maybe
drags
not by
there.
much, but
Those roughs.
another good.
Yeah, I think on our end too, like when we start talking, it like kind of cuts out like it's what we can hear. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Cameron. But yeah, like for drumming for a year and a half, like definitely not
bad.
Still painful to watch. I mean, even
like-
nowadays, you watch videos yourself playing, and you're like, man, my hands look terrible.
All right,
But
let's
looking at this
switch.
now,
Let's switch some videos here, and we'll go to where he ended up for his Age Out summer for the rest of this one.
This is quite the jump.
Oh yeah.
it's a little better.
Dang, you made BD with that audition video? That's sick.
Right there. There's Cameron. Looks a little more natural, a little more experienced.
That was a really good baseline.
Oh, that's nasty. All right, hold on. Well, wait a second. I gotta hear that again. Hold up. I gotta hear that again.
You look a little bit more confident than that prior video.
A tad bit. All right, hold on. Those fours,
Yep.
like, were those did those naturally hit, or did you have to work on that a lot? Because they seem
No,
so
that was-
natural the way they fit into that phrase.
Yeah, that entire phrase usually was pretty good. It's da-da-da-da-da. So the third note is actually a flam. So you're playing a 3 on your right hand and then a 4 on your left hand. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But
I like it.
that one feels pretty good.
I gotta mess with
It
that.
seems very natural. Like the fours, I've talked crap about fours on this podcast before, but in that sort of context, seem much more natural. Where it's just like a fast stick control and not like you're just like you can't even hear the notes. Like I can hear those notes speak.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. All right, let's keep going and listen to this nasty bass line some more too.
Tap fives in there.
Good sticks down. Gotta lift the sticks
Yeah,
up
man, people gotta yell.
first.
One thing I do love about like BD and like RCC lots is it's kind of like a showcase.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Scott has contests. He has like flam contests. He'll like go through each section. He'll be like, all right, play flams, play flams, play flams, and then he'll be like, all right, who wants the snares to win? And he'll like do like a crowd response thing. And pretty much every time it's the bass line that wins, just because everyone loves the bass line. But
Dude, bass lines have
they were
become
really
just-
good.
They were nasty. They're
Like
going to
a
be
cult
featured here in a minute, but
Yeah.
they were really good.
chest pump.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Jeez.
That's
Alright,
one thing
I
that
gotta pause for a
BD has
sec.
adopted over the past few. There's like really fast, like put it up.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. Like
Those
those,
are called echoes. That's what we call
they're
those.
cool, dude. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
of little intricate things BD writes in their music that like you don't hear other groups play. Like things like that are those. I would imagine they're pretty difficult. Like to just space them properly in the space between them, and then just like
Mhm.
it's
The
just
reattacks.
did you
Yeah, a lot of times you'll hear them in like so like 9-lit kind of. It's usually a 9-lit rhythm.
hmm
We actually had those in the snare break for X this year that we never got to perform.
fun.
We put it in after the last show that we did. We were going to play some echoes in the snare break, but never happened.
Hard,
but-
really cool, really effective stuff.
Yeah.
I think underappreciated too. Like, I think most people would hear that and not really pick up on like, wow, how probably difficult that is to play well together.
The finger dexterity.
Oh yeah, the control over the sticks required to stay
Hardest
relaxed.
part about playing that a lot of time is playing that individual note, dun, 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 dun. Just being able to play like quarter notes or quarter note triplets, the super open rhythm.
Yeah,
A lot of times that diddle will just sort of fall into place if you know what you're doing.
nice,
But that open rhythm is really difficult.
nice. All right, let's keep going. See what else goodies we got in here. There's the very stylized double stop, like straight up with the sticks.
Yep.
That add-in was not always great. That
I
was
mean, it's
one of the
really
better
hard.
rips I've
That was
heard
one of the
it.
better ones I've heard.
It's
That
fast.
cold attack, man. Oh my jeez. Like,
Dude, this
there's-
cold hand-to-hand.
There's nothing to say about that. Like, you just listen to it and you're just like, all right, well, they're incredible.
I will say, I think the most impressive thing about this is just like the sheer velocity and sound quality. Just like everybody's going for it. You can
Oh,
hear
yeah, there's no.
every note speak so well.
They also all play with each other. 4 of those guys are in RCC. So
course.
That makes
they're
sense.
probably like, I don't know, their second or third season marching together.
Were they nasty from day one?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's got to be a good feeling. Show up on
What
spring
is on those
training and you're
heads?
already just nasty.
It looks like the ghost of Christmas past. What is that?
It's interesting. Everyone's drum actually has a different drum slip. It's they're all blue, but everyone's just different. Like I don't know if the bass drums is actually on the drum, but for the snares we had like kind of the theater mask. The quads just had like blue flames. I'm not sure what they had like this like blue sci-fi kind of looking thing on the actual drums. You can probably see it if they turn, but in terms of the drum heads, I have no idea. Something cool.
I think that lick was so good that the guy, this video, who will credit in the link and at the end, want to give credit where credit is due, like, he just shows it again. It's like, oh, I did 2 reps. Let's just show
Henry
you they
back
can
there
do it
admiring
every
the
time.
handiwork.
Just nails.
Well.
Like, incredible. I almost appreciate a good bass line now as opposed to a good snare line.
What'd you get?
See that 4 at the end there that just like
Uh-huh.
worked in rhythmically. That I love that.
Yep.
And so I gotta back up for a second. What the heck happened here? What is this? Let me get far enough back.
Is it the
Possibly.
Oh no, it's the same hand.
Yeah. Let me.
Is that what
I
you're
want
talking
to hear it again. Here, we'll just go from here. What the heck was that?
It's tough.
Those are just same-handed heritas. So it's just
Same-handed heritas.
just with one hand.
All right. That's incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
especially
It's maybe not as hard as you think. Like we had a lot of like exercises. They call them. It's so funny. A lot of the lingo
Chexercises?
out west is like different than how they'd call it out east. Like I was always told a exercise, and they call them like primers.
Huh.
We had a ton of different exercises that kind of worked on that. It ends up actually feeling not too bad, but yeah, it is pretty difficult to get that like quick little triple stroke. It's like a triple stroke and an invert.
nice.
So
All right, let's keep rolling here.
That one was hard,
Huh?
but then the other snare solo too. So
Yeah, I think the second one is harder, just in
the
terms of
second one's harder just because it has like the overlay.
Yeah.
I think you guys played in this video. Let's find out. Oh, I love the end of that. It's so sweet. It looks cool too, like the visual.
It's fun. Yeah, that was definitely harder.
Real hard. All right.
So they're in the front.
Everyone did the loose knucks, which myself and Liam wanted everyone to do. Do you guys know Liam Slagle? Your mouse is, I think, on him right now.
Yeah, I know who it
The
is.
loose
Yeah.
knucks thing is the Rhythm X. I don't know. It's a Sam Wright thing, actually, from like some old school scout stuff. But I was the only person that didn't have a partner for loose knucks, so I just did like this stick flip thing. Because you always have to have a partner to do it. And I looked over and there was nobody there, so I just had to spin my sticks by myself.
I was wondering about that.
You got to do what you got to do. Adapt or die.
But you got the money shot. Mom, get out your camera. Here I am.
Right in the front, right there.
That's right.
All right. That was hot.
But yeah, hold on, pause real quick. That feature, I would say, is definitely harder. Just the overlay and trying to get the space right. That one definitely took all season. Like,
and dude,
there were some reps early on. I was like, whoa.
So much of this stuff is so exposed when you actually listen to it on the field. I mean, we spend so much time on these features. Like pretty much any time you have a sectional, you're probably working on the snare feature.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably the hardest part of the book.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The paradiddle thing, which is right after this, physically isn't as hard, but in terms of like where we were in the drill, was very difficult in terms of like just adding in and doing that right. Pretty scary.
Like weaving in and out of the quads.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's see if that's the next race you all play.
Oh, this is the beginning of the closer. And I forgot we played this.
I would say that this is probably a part that you did not rehearse as much.
Yeah. Cold attack rolls, man.
Man,
I love stuff like that.
Can you pause it for a second?
Yeah.
So this is another example of like where like we would get this music and I'd be like, man, this is Blue Devils. Why aren't I ramming right now? You know what I mean? Like what's going on? You know, but then you gotta look at it holistically. I remember seeing this part, you know, obviously like the beginning of the season, I guess worried is obviously I knew we were going to be okay, but I'm like, man, like this just all seems kind of weird to me, kind of bizarre. I remember seeing a recording from like a San Bernardino show, I think it was, of all this stuff coming together and like with the recording of all this music. This was like one of my favorite parts of the show. This was like the beginning of like the closer and like how everything adds in together visually was like one of the coolest parts of the show. But obviously like when you get all the stuff, it's like, oh man, this is just kind of like easy music. But it's cool to kind of see how all this stuff just fits in holistically. Obviously, like all this stuff is difficult in terms of how we all have to play together with going from buzzes to rolls and stuff. But holistically, like this part of the show was really, really cool.
It's kind of cool how stuff like that can like catch you by surprise. I know there were some parts of like, absolutely. I think the fifth movement at Blue Coats in 2012, I didn't like it at first, but after we got it on the field, played it more with the drill, we had some cool nuanced stuff in there that wasn't super choppy, but it was just cool. And I came to like it a lot by the end of the season.
Was that Epiphanies? Was that the last one? We ended up playing Epiphanies and Crown. We played the same closer.
I don't know. I hate to say that, but I don't know. All right, let's keep going.
So this is the drum break in the closer.
There's more of those echoes. Ooh, those pings. Those are fast.
Oh, I love this part.
Just fast rolls.
That was a tough change up.
The hand speed change?
Yeah, you're going from 6-tuplet or not 6-tuplet, but I think 30-second rolls into just chug it up.
Yeah, you got to open your hands up real fast. I love that so much.
Yes.
Just all those echoes in a row. low tight roll right there.
Can you pause it again?
Yeah.
So another really interesting thing that you'll notice is watching a lot of the BD book. I think we might have played 2 triplet rolls or 3 triplet rolls this entire book. A lot of like filler. I mean, usually like when you're writing a roll, it's just to try to lengthen the sound, right? You're just trying to lengthen the sound of the snare drum, and all these rolls are 5-lit rolls and 7-lit rolls. All those low rolls, it's just all 7-lit rolls, which was super weird to get used to. But that's kind of, instead of playing the triplet rolls as filler space, we'd use 7-lit rolls for whatever reason. But
I mean,
I
serves
wonder
the same
why.
purpose.
yeah,
Just
just
because, probably.
Dave Glide thing.
Yeah.
Because he can.
Because you can, yeah. And he knows y'all be able to play it, so.
Yeah. And it does sound kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Just
If you
little
can pick
different.
up on the slight rhythmic nuance to it, a little difference, it's really, really cool. Was that Brian? Was that
That was
Brian?
Brian. We'll revisit that. That's a good segue.
Yeah, right.
Big gawk shot. 7-lit roll.
Ooh, a fast 4. See, these are 4s done right. I'm a broken record here. Alright, what's this last little clip? Little body at the end there, you know?
Love to see it.
Yeah, Cameron. Dude, I think that's the perfect segue. I think we just need to stop.
We'll get into it. I like this little snare break right there. That's the one from the very beginning of the video again.
Yeah.
That was Rick. If you want to rewind that, that's super, super tough for the quads to add in on that.
Oh man, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's something subtle that like you gotta pay attention. I did not even notice that the first time. Yeah, to come in
Play
right
your
there
hand
on,
and go.
just jump on the moving train.
I
No
think Brandon
hesitation.
anytime we had a good rep, Brandon would just clap. I was like, okay,
There we go.
that was a good
Yeah.
rep.
Very, very
Oh,
stoic
man.
emotion.
All right, keep the recording
So
going.
in that last clip, we could hear like an individual in the audience screaming, "Go, Cameron!"
Sure
who
can.
happens to be mutual friends with all of us, Brian Byer, and we happened to film Cameron from his first summer at Crown in 2017, where Brian and Brad, who was previously mentioned, who taught at was it Eastside or no North Coast? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Or
North
Motor
Coast.
City Percussion. Sorry.
Percussion, and then my first year at North Coast, Brad also taught.
So they were in the lot with me and Mike, and we'd been having some fun that day, enjoying the lots, and this is kind of what happened. I think it's funny too because if you look at the comments, people are like all bullshit about it or pissed, like, oh, like these dudes screaming. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. All right, so this is like he said, Crown 2017, 2 summers before BD.
Yeah.
So let's get
And
into this.
If you listen to the podcast before, you can probably see in this chunk what we mean by you play with a little bit more velocity.
Yeah, you'll definitely notice a bit of a difference here.
The first note pretty loud.
All right, here we go. Let's jump in. Brad.
Don't shit, mother.
Camera.
He's good.
Like you can already see you guys smiling at what's happening. How did you all stay focused during all that was so ridiculous, that lot.
At one point, Travis came up to me and he asked me, he said, do you want me to kick those guys out? Like, do you want me to make them leave? And I was like, I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I'll be okay.
I can do it.
But it was difficult to not smile.
Oh, I would have broken my
Dude,
my
Phil
face.
cracked a smile just
Yeah,
then too.
this dude just smirked already. He's gonna smile at multiple points. All right, let's keep watching. It's just. Actually, there's definitely, you can already tell more velocity behind the stroke. This is hard. This is real hard to play all that space.
Up here.
More puttitas.
Here.
Cameron. Just shot quality for days.
There's some of those loud rolls that you talked about.
Just so many rhythmic changes and hand speed changes throughout this whole phrase. It's just super impressive. How many different rhythms have been played at this point in this one phrase? Like, it's just...
That was another one with a lot of 7-lits, actually.
Yeah. They weren't done.
Tag ending.
The speed with which Phil plays here, this guy right here, is insane. Oh, he ticked it, but the impressiveness of that was nuts. Like, that dude's hands are incredible.
Philip is really good.
Just nuts.
Really, really good. And there's Travis going up first.
Travis trying to kick us out of the lot. Come on, bro. Well, Travis would never kick me out of the lot. That's for sure.
He's smiling.
He's like, ooh.
Dude, Brian and Brad. It's funny because like people would like talk crap about this, like, oh, these dudes are being so annoying, but like that's kind of like the culture of the activity, especially if you go to indoor lots.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to a WGI lot, people are like screaming their heads off.
Just yelling like
And
crazy.
I think the performers like feed into it.
At Rhythm X lots, we have to bring caution tape. We have to set up caution tape in our lots. In 2018, we especially had to do that. We had to put caution tape up around our entire zone because people were just getting too close to us. And that even in drum corps, like people are standing pretty far away from you, even in this. But WGI, man, I mean, there's times where people can be a foot away from you. You know?
Yeah, they're like touching your bottom head.
Yeah, it's pretty nerve wracking. Not that
Dude, I love that part.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I always enjoyed that.
I think you guys just do the same phrase over again here.
This just got in your monitors right here.
Not sure.
I don't know. I haven't watched
This
that
is
in a
some of that like meaty book that I'm talking about. I mean, this entire thing on the field. If you watch the video, we're just running the entire time.
Oh, I believe it.
That season, man, I loved it. I thought it was just the coolest thing in the world. And to be honest, I think that 2017 summer, that might have been the best closer that I've ever played my entire marching career. It was really cool.
That's not loud enough.
That's not loud enough.
And those drums were exposed too. I think we had
Oh,
6
yeah.
on those.
The cool thing is like the range of like the approach is consistent because you're playing with a lot of velocity, but you can tell your hands are relaxed because the low end doesn't sound choked off and harsh.
Yeah, a lot of like we're talking about like with hitting the drum has nothing to do with how hard you're squeezing the stick.
Yeah, not
just
at all.
how hard you're actually throwing the stick into the drum.
Like the quality of that roll.
At that point.
meaty.
Big gong shot right here. Oh,
Hit me in the face.
that was always really fun. We played a lot of gong shots at Crown. Being in some of those lots and just seeing the faces on some people after we just played a gong shot was amusing.
And again, you can tell your hands are relaxed because whether you're pulling back for a ping or playing a gok, it just sounds open and relaxed. It breathes.
Give it to me, Phil.
Insane. That's just so
That was a beast.
good. So good.
Phil of the future.
All right, let's switch some gears and check out some Cameron Halls and some Michigan State real quick here.
Was your dad the center at MSU too?
He was.
Boom.
Nice.
Yep. This is this piece called X.
I love this metric slowdown.
You can't tell, but honestly, all the Michigan State stuff was the biggest lots, I guess, per se, that you could say that I've had. I mean, there's hundreds of people watching us on the other side of the camera right now.
It's good rolls for 11 snare drums.
We were too big, so we had to stack.
Anybody else in
Hell
this
yeah.
line march drum corps?
The guy behind me and to my left, Connor Regal.
This guy?
March Madness Scouts. Yeah. I'll show you when we get back to it. The guy directly to my left, Kato Ruiz, was a Crossman snare drummer. The guy to my right, Yates McLaughlin, who is now the center for Michigan State. For this play.
Talking about this guy?
Yep.
Okay. That was a hard
Pretty
one.
good.
I want to hear
Yeah,
that
it's pretty,
again.
this is an
Hold on.
MSU original, right?
Yep.
Did
John
John
Weber
write
wrote
this?
Yeah.
That was real good.
Yep. This guy Yates McLaughlin to my right, March Madison Scouts and was going to march Cavaliers this summer. Guy in the back, left corner, Micah, is going to be a snare drummer at Scouts this year. Quad drummer March Blue Stars, another quad drummer March Scouts. Second bass drummer Blake was the Cavaliers bass drummer for a couple of years.
Yeah, dude.
And
Michigan State's the
even-
real deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jamming.
If we have time, pull up the Martian Mamba video. That one's pretty good too.
Let's see. This is on the field.
Backspace.
This one?
Backspace.
Yep. This is 11 16 piece memory. Go sick. Keep in mind, this is October 26th, so this was probably pretty cold. You see, we all got our rain jackets on. It's probably 30 or 40 degrees.
Dude, Murray Gusick and Jim Casilla, so tasty.
Yeah, you can see how many people are around. I mean, this
It's
is
a big crowd.
campus. Campus on a game day is a lot of people.
Definitely one of the best college drum lines in the country, for sure.
Yeah, for what we do, what we do is obviously really different than UNT. We do I think 6 or 7 halftime shows a year, so we're pretty much learning new music all the time. So a lot of what we do is we have these main performance pieces that we play at tailgates and performances, and then we do our halftime show every weekend, which is different for every home game,
Nice.
which is Big Ten thing. That's just kind of how it works, but just a different way to do it.
Yeah, nice. Well,
Still
this was fun.
Still awesome.
Did a podcast, reacted a bunch of reactions. Cameron, thanks for hanging out with us. Everybody else, hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Thanks for having me.
Boom.